It's wild. We pretty much know everything about the S24 Ultra thanks to so many leaks over the past couple of weeks. Even GSM Arena has it listed with a whole bunch of specs. They often list the phones, but not with all their specs. So I thought, let's do a quick comparison of what we know about the S25 Ultra with the S24 Ultra so that you know if you should start saving up for that pre-order that's going to be coming up. I think it's important to note that the phone isn't released yet and that a lot can change over the next couple of months leading up to the launch. But currently, we've got a pretty good idea of what it's going to be like. Only hit the like button now if you're as excited as I am. First, let's take a look at the body specs. Interestingly, the S25 Ultra is a little bit taller at 162.8 millimeters, a little easier to hold. It's a little bit squashed in at 77.6 millimeters wide, and it's a little bit thinner at 8.2 millimeters. It's also going to be quite a lot lighter, according to some reports, like 14 grams lighter, which I think is ridiculous. I take this prediction with a little bit of salt, actually quite a lot of salt. I think 14 grams is a huge weight drop, and it's very unlikely that it's going to be that. So we're going to have to wait till launch to see that. Everything else is pretty much exactly the same as the S24 Ultra, except that the titanium finish is going up a few grades from grade 2 to grade 5. So Jerry rigs everything is going to be, he's going to have a lot of fun. Interestingly, the display is going to be the exact same size, 6.8 inches. But with the new dimensions, we should expect a much smaller bezel. The new screen to body ratio goes up from about 88.5% to roughly 89.8%. This should make the screen feel a lot bigger than the S24 Ultras and have a little bit of a more elegant finish. And like I mentioned in the S25 rumors video that a couple of videos ago, the bezels are going to be smaller than the iPhone 16 Pro Max, making them the smallest bezels in the industry at the moment. The amazing screen on the S24 Ultra isn't going to be seeing a lot of changes. It's an amazing screen. It's still going to be AMOLED 2X 120 Hertz with that peak brightness of 2600. So it's industry leading, best screen still to date. And I don't think there's too much actually to improve on it. So I'm glad they're sticking with it. To no one's surprise, the S25 Ultra is going to be launching with Android 15 running One UI 7. The GPU is getting a pretty decent power boost. It'll sport the Adreno 830, that's 1.25 gigahertz, potentially a 25% improvement in performance. And in one of the worst kept secrets, it's going to have Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. If there's going to be another chipset on the device other than Snapdragon, it's likely to be one of the new MediaTek chipsets that are out there and not the Exynos chipsets, which is great. It's great for consumers because both the Snapdragons and the MediaTek chipsets are amazing. To my constant disappointment, there won't be any expandable storage. I really, really wish that Samsung would just grace us with the option of adding more space, especially with us creators that are using our phones to record videos at 4K and store a lot of videos and edit videos on the device. It takes up a lot of space. It destroys the local storage that you have. And remember, the 1 terabytes are super expensive. Even if they are available in South Africa, we didn't even get a 1 terabyte unit available. And to top it off, Samsung don't even offer cloud storage for media anymore outside of OneDrive. So I'm not sure what the business incentive is around not including an SD card slot or expandable storage. Please, Samsung. Please, you're not really benefiting from this. There's going to be a significant RAM boost in the 512 gig model and the 1 terabyte model, both having 16 gigs of RAM instead of the S24's 12 gigs of RAM offering. This is likely to help push the AI to load processors locally, taking pressure off of the cloud, because obviously that's expensive for them, but also for us because we've got to use internet data to process that stuff on the cloud, and then it becomes less secure because it's up there. It's a decision that I really appreciate. The camera system is left largely unchanged, except that we have an upgraded ultra wide. Thank God, I'm so happy about this. It's going from a 12 megapixel to a 50 megapixel sensor, and it's going to have a better f-stop for those shallower depth of field photos at 1.9. It's about time that ultra wide lenses started getting love from Samsung, so thank you. It's my favorite camera to shoot on the array, but often the worst quality of all of them. I can't wait to see what Samsung have done with that camera and what it's going to look like, but also with the software and how they're going to improve the rest of the cameras with it. But we're going to have to see what that looks like at launch. The battery is going to be remaining exactly the same. It's going to have both the 5,000 milliamp hour capacity and it's 45 watt fast charging, so it's not going up. So far, it's looking really good. It's still more of a refinement, but with a few meaningful upgrades in areas that make a difference to me personally. Like, I really like the fact that there's a better GPU for games, and finally, an upgraded ultra-wide lens. Like, it's called the Ultra series, the S25 Ultra. Why is the ultra-wide lens always like the losing one on the thing? But anyway, do you think it's worth the upgrade so far, or are you just going to be sticking with an S24 Ultra?